the amount of people that I have seen that have gotten jobs out of State of Social, the
great.
networking, the global networking that you are going to be exposed to is unreal.
Hello and welcome to The Alchemists, a limited series podcast that will soon become your marketing BFF for State of Social 2024. My name is Andres Lopez Varela, you can call me ALV, and today we're recording on the traditional lands of the Whadjuk Noongar people and the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. Join me and an expert bunch of marketing thought leaders as we tackle the big questions, the important forces, and the thought-provoking issues that shape our marketing industry. You'll hear from the same bright minds that are sharing their insights and hot takes on the stage at State of Social 2024 as we bring those big conversations to you in your podcast feed. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how you can make the most of your State of Social 2024 experience with none other than the founder of State of Social, Meg Coffey. Now, you may not have met Meg Coffey, but you've definitely seen or heard from her. She is one of Australia's foremost thought leaders in all things digital media, social media, and marketing. And since 2018, Meg has organised and curated State of Social into one of the most in-demand and, in my opinion, the best and friendliest marketing conference in Australia. Meg, hello, welcome.
Hello there. I love that you say that it's the friendliest. That means a lot. I like that one.
It definitely is. The best and the friendliest. I always walk out of there with a giant grin on my face. It might be all the sugar that you ply us with, or it might just be the good vibes.
I'll go with both. I mean, there is definitely a lot of sugar. There's definitely a lot of caffeine in the all-you-can barista coffee. But there's lots of American candy. There's lots of sugar. There's lots of everything in State of Social. But I think that the fact that you find it the friendliest, that I take that as a very good compliment.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to get into all that stuff. But for those that maybe don't know, tell me about the origin story of the event and a little bit about what you've achieved and how it's changed since you started Save Social in 2018.
Yeah, so as we enter our 7th year, it is definitely the biggest and best by far. I mean, I say that every year, and every year is the biggest and the best. Am I going to beat it next year? How am I going to top it? And I do manage to. I don't know what I'm going to do next year because this one's huge. But it started out honestly because I was tired of going to really bad events, right? So I'm a small business owner. I run my own digital marketing agency. I don't have the biggest training budget, but I need professional development. And I was going to bad events.
Yeah, tell me about it.
And there's this little place called Perth. You might have heard of it. It's really amazing. It's
Very
on the west
sunny.
coast of Australia. You in the East Coast, you kind of forget about us. You never have events over here. And so I was having to fly to Sydney for everything. So I was having to fly to Sydney for not just everything, but for bad things. And I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So very long story short, I decided it was time to do something in Perth. It was time to have an event that was actually a decent event, full of people that were not just standing on stage talking about how wonderful they were, but were actually talking about the tangible things that they achieved and how I could achieve them too for my business.
Yeah, and I think certainly that's very much reflected in the content of the event and the mix of it. And I think that it's really fantastic also to get over to Perth once a year at least for what is an excellent event in such a great city. But tell me, imagine I'm a first-timer, right? I know I'm not. Pretend I'm a first-time attendee at SOS. And I've heard rave reviews. I'm really excited. I'm getting ready to go. What are the top 3 things that you want me to know as a first-time attendee to State of Social?
Okay, so Perth is amazing. Optus Stadium is one of the most beautiful stadiums in the world.
Phenomenal.
I'm not saying that. Like, it is voted that, right? It has been voted a better stadium, better cricket ground than the MCG. Don't come for me. Come for me. It has been voted that, right? Optus Stadium is stunning. Perth is stunning. get yourself to Perth. Don't think that it is this remote place that you cannot get to. And if you're from Perth, go, how lucky are we that in the middle of winter, this is where we live.
Oh, yeah.
The speakers that we're bringing in to Perth are speakers that you're not going to see anywhere else in Australia. So Perth, that's the first thing I want you to know. But that's my tourism background. I love WA. There's no place better on earth, if you ask me. The second thing for a first timer to know, I think, is that it is a place that you will actually learn. Everybody that is on stage is somebody that is amazing. And yes, whilst they might tell you that they're amazing, and they have every right to tell you that they're amazing, they're also going to very much tell you how they achieved that amazing thing they did. So you will be able to walk away with tangible things. Right. And whilst they might be big things, like they might be the Nike budget, and it might be a campaign from some unattainable budget that you will never have, you'll still walk away with a nugget of something that you can apply to your own business.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that that's really important. There isn't any of this chest beating, look at me, look at how wonderful I am.
And I think that makes a really, really big difference for sure.
Yeah. And I think the third thing, and I say this, and I think you hit it in your opening, is that we are a friendly bunch. We're a bunch of communicators. We are a bunch of people who communicate for a living. So come and network and talk to people. The amount of people that I have seen that have gotten jobs out of State of Social is unreal. Yeah, the great. Networking, the global networking that you are going to be exposed to is unreal. So don't be the wallflower. Don't be the one that sits in the back corner. All of our speakers are here, and they're attending the conference, and they want to talk to you. They want to meet you. But it's not just the speakers. It's the other delegates, right? Yes. Like, go and sit at lunch with other people. Go and have a coffee with other people. There's lots of opportunities to mingle. Take that opportunity, seize it.
Yeah, I love that. That's great advice. The next thing I want to ask you about is these conference tracks. So I'm sure that anyone who's been to an event like this looks at the different conference tracks and they're like, oh my gosh, there's so much content, and I think it's a sign of a really thoughtfully put together event that there are these tracks there with so much great content. But what would your advice be for people coming in a State of Social in terms of how they should choose the right breakouts and the right sessions and workshops for them? What two very kind of specific pieces of advice would you give them to help them choose the right sessions to go to?
One, get an all-access ticket. Because if you have an all-access ticket, that means that you get access to the recordings, which means that you don't miss anything.
Yes.
Right? And then you don't have to stress. You can go to whatever session you want to go to live. And if you don't get into it, because some sessions do fill up, then you can go to another session and you have access to everything on the recordings. The second piece of advice is don't stress about it, right? There are so many good sessions, and there may be sessions that fill up. I do my absolute best with programming to make sure that everybody's sort of equal, and that all the same types of sessions aren't on at the same time, so that no matter where you are in the breakouts and workshops, there'll be something that you're interested in. So don't stress. There'll be something for you. And if there isn't a session that you're interested in during that sort of breakout or workshop, go hang out in the Icono Lounge. Go hang out and just relax and catch up on emails or take a break. And then, in the next period, there will be something. But all access is definitely the way to go. You will not miss a thing if you have an all access ticket.
100%. Heartily endorse that. And the other thing I heartily endorse is all the attention to detail that goes into planning this event, and more so than a lot of events of this kind. Those little touches that elevate the whole experience. I know that you personally and your team put a lot of thought into all those little things beyond just the content on stage. So tell me what I should be looking out for this year in that sense.
Oh, look, I'm not going to give you all of my secrets because I do like to have lots of surprises and I do like to have things for the delegates. But I'll tell you this. Yeah. The theme of the conference is alchemy, right? And so we're saying where magic meets mastery. Look, there's always going to be American candy. It's the one thing that I bring to the event. But is it going to be the usual American candy?
Oh, no.
Maybe not.
What?
Maybe we get a little bit nerdy this year.
Oh,
I don't know.
I like what you
So things like that are different. We have our fun, we have our activations. There's always lots of things, lots of little added extras for the delegates, lots of little extra fun things that keep you on your toes, that make it fun. I mean, the Icono Lounge is definitely a place that you want to check out and chill out. That's sponsored by our friends at Icono Square. That is just this big sort of lounge area where you can go and recharge your phone, recharge your brain, get a little bit of quiet if you need to.
Perfect.
I think, a lot of conferences you go to, you have to pay for food. Oh my gosh, I give you guys so much food.
Oh, and the food is so
Proper
great.
food.
So great. You're never hungry. Basically, at any time of day, if you need a snack or something to kind of get you moving, kind of refocus your brain, it's always there, and that's one of the best aspects of the conference. And it really speaks to that attention to detail and that sort of personal touch that you and your team put into it. So I'm very, very grateful for that, because I know I'm never going to go hungry, and I know that I'm always going to have coffee just at arm's reach. So I really appreciate that, and all this information is really helpful as well for everyone who's planning their State of Social experience. So thank you so much for sharing those insights and those tips. Any final kind of tidbits or housekeeping you want to share before we wrap up?
So I would definitely say day one, get there early, right? You want to get there early so that you can pick up your ticket. We have coffee on arrival. So yes, you can come with your coffee if you want to, but we will have coffee there on arrival. We've got surprises from the moment you arrive. Don't you worry. But look, we get that coffee is important, so we are ready for you. But doors open at 7:45. Feel free to be there at 7:46.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Excellent. All right. And make sure that if you have any questions as well, the State of Social team there will be able to help on the day too. Keep an eye out for them. Meg, thank you so much for this chat. Thanks for kind of giving us an inside look to State of Social and help us get ready to have the best State of Social ever this year. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Perth very soon.
Well, I will see you on the 27th and 28th of August at Optus Stadium.
We have so much more coming up on The Alchemists, including a bunch of in-depth chats with our State of Social 2024 speakers, the alchemists of the marketing industry. So listen to the show wherever you get your podcasts, and if you had fun, make sure you give us a rating and a review, and tell a mate or three. The Alchemist is a co-production of State of Social and Creative Fix. The show is produced by me, Andres Lopez Varela, and Aaron Matthews from Creative Fix, with additional production support by Cal McLean. Meg Coffey is our executive producer. On behalf of all the alchemists, I'm ALV. I'll catch you next time.